All right, guys, I picked up a Seiko Alpinist. It's been a while, and this is not a traditional Alpinist that we're typically used to, whether it's a different dial color or anything like that. This one's kind of its own thing for sure with the, I believe, ion-coated black case. I don't think it's like Cerakoted or anything. It's some sort of like, you know, ion-coated or PVD or something. But this is the Seiko SPB337. Retail price $925. Has the 6R35 movement in it. Date magnifier. It is, you know, Alpinist in its core, you know, design, but it's totally different. And I dig that about it because it's not one that you're going to typically see on the wrist of most people that gravitate towards the Alpinist, from what I could tell. I do know one of my buddies, Greg, he has one. But this is the watch I picked up on my Florida trip to hang out with the crew at Exquisite Timepieces in Naples, Florida. I'll put a link down below in the description for this watch and a direct line of connectivity to Tyler, my contact there. You can get a hold of him, tell him I sent you, and negotiate the best deal possible for you. These are limited edition, although there's 5,500 of them. This is number 1,227. So I don't know how scarce they're going to be, like, because they're only that's worldwide. So like only so many go into the US and then they go to different parts of the world. So, but I was drawn to it enough to pick one up. I paid, I think I got like $100 off on it or something like that. I didn't save much money on it. It was like, because it's limited edition, they kind of stuck to their guns on the price. But the case size on this is 39.4 millimeter. The lug to lug is a 46. These are measurements that are typically smaller than I'd like for my wrist, but this one just works. I'll show you. 13 millimeter thick, sapphire crystal up top. Again, nice date magnifier helping me read that date with my aging eyes. 20 millimeter lug width here, and this bracelet does taper down to 18. Seiko went back to the split pins, or maybe they've always used split pins on the Alpinist. I honestly can't remember, but made it super easy to size. I'm a fan of split pin, honestly. Only 2 micro adjust on the bracelet or on the clasp. That is one downside to this. There might be some aftermarket clasp you could switch up to get more micro adjust on this. But I was able to achieve a good size on this, so I didn't really have any problems with that. You do have a display case back. It is kind of a smoked colorway though, so you don't get a like clear view of the movement, but it is also printed on the underside there. It says Seiko, the Prospex X, and then limited edition there. You can see the number and some other information going around the outside. Made in Japan. 200 meter water resist top sapphire crystal, which means this back one's probably Hardlex. You have that screw down crown, which is 5.8 millimeter. And then you have this offset crown here, which is to control that inner rotating bezel, which is a compass bezel, which I'll never really use. I like the Alpinist because of its size, obviously, but also the cathedral handset and the evened numbered Arabics applied or pressed into the dial, however it's done. You can see you have a textured dial on this one, and this one's called the Night Vision series. Now, Seiko's done a bunch of watches in this configuration where they did this pretty much all blacked out, and then they did the lume on this, which is primarily on the hour and minute hand. There is a little bit going around this railroad track here, but the Arabics are not loomed, unfortunately. It still works, but it's just not very bright around the outside on this one. I'll show you at the end of the video, the lume on this one's actually pretty meh, to say the least. For a Seiko, it's not very good, but it looks like it's glowing in the daylight, and that I really like about this watch and the entire night vision lineup of watches from Seiko. So let's pop this on my 7¼ inch wrist so you can see what that looks like. And of course, I will end up putting this on some sort of leather strap at some point, but I think having it on bracelet right now really helps the size of the watch wear nice on my wrist. And I'm a little curious to see how it holds up with scratches and stuff like that, scrapes. And non-signed crown, I just noticed that. This is the watch I picked up when I was at Exquisite that gave me my entry to win that Honda Super Cub. So also a pretty special watch in that factor as well. Let me give this a quick blast with the UV light. Let me see, here it is. We need to kind of supercharge it a little bit because, like I said, it's not impressive like you would typically see out of a Seiko. Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's adequate. Don't get me wrong. But I did supercharge it, right? So under normal usage and stuff, it's really not that bright. And then, like I said, it's kind of minimalistic on the outside there with the loom. Most of it is concentrated to the Cathedral handset. But there it is. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you on the next vid.